Yes, welcome, welcome, ladies and gentlemen. I wish you a happy new year 2025. As you know, my name is Remy. I'm a teacher of chemistry. Our topic today is the categories of chemical reactions. Let's start by talking about the meaning of chemical reaction. A chemical reaction is a chemical change in which atoms and molecules of substances combine to form one or more new substances. To mean, during a chemical reaction, there is a chemical change. And then, atoms and molecules that combined together are called reactants. And then, new formed substances are what we call the product. And then types of chemical reactions. Reactions are categorized depending on the way products are formed. There are four main types of chemical reactions in a chemistry. Here, there are four categories of chemical reaction. The first is called addition or combination or synthesis reaction. The second is called the decomposition reaction. The third is called the single replacement, or we can say single displacement, or we can say single substitution reaction. The fourth is the double replacement reaction, or double displacement reaction, or double substitution reaction. Let's start on the combination reaction. Combination reaction, also called the synthesis or addition, is a reaction in which two reactants, to mean two substances that can be elements or compound, and then join or combine to form one single product. This is a structure that shows these are the different reactants but really produce one product. For example, here we have calcium oxide react with sulfur trioxide and produce calcium sulfate. Different reactant, but we get one product. Hydrogen gas react with chlorine gas to produce hydrogen chloride gas. These are examples of combination reaction. Second type is decomposition reaction. Decomposition reaction is a reaction in which compounds split or divided into two or several less complex substances. This occurs when there is only one reactant. And remember, heat or electricity is required for the reaction to happen. This is a structure that shows this is a reactant, it is a one, but decomposed into two. For examples, calcium carbonate decomposed into calcium oxide and carbon dioxide. Potassium chlorate decomposed into potassium chloride and oxygen. To mean during the decomposition reaction, one reactant can be decomposed into two or more products. The third type is the single replacement reaction. A single replacement reaction is a reaction in which an element belonging to a compound is replaced by another element. For example, when this A reacts with BC, it produces AC and B. To mean, this A attacks C and here B remain alone. Let's take the real examples. When magnesium reacts with copper oxide, this produces magnesium oxide and copper. To mean, this magnesium attack oxygen, but here copper remain alone. Example 2, zinc reacts with sulfuric acid. to produce zinc sulfate and hydrogen gas. There is a single movement. There is a movement here, but this hydrogen remain alone. The last type is the double displacement reaction. During double displacement reaction, also there is what we call precipitation and neutralization reaction. This reaction, it is a reaction in which anions and cations of two elements change their positions with formation of two products. To mean, here we have a compound, we react with another compound, but also produce two products. Let's start by precipitation reaction. Precipitation reaction is a reaction in which two reactants in a solution react to form an insoluble substance known as precipitate and a soluble compound. To mean, two soluble substances can combine and then form one precipitate, one insoluble compound. For example, barium chloride reacts with sodium sulfate and produce barium sulfate and sodium chloride. This barium sulfate is an insoluble salt. Example 2. Iron sulfate reacts with hydrochloric acid to produce iron chloride and hydrogen sulfate. This is a precipitation reaction. Let's talk about neutralization reaction. Neutralization reaction is a reaction in which an acid reacts with a base to form a salt and water. In simple words, we can say neutralization reaction is a reaction that produces salt and water only, because it is not only acid and base that produce salt and water. Even metal oxide and acid produce salt and water. Here we have examples. Hydrochloric acid with sodium hydroxide produce sodium chloride and water. Sulfuric acid and potassium hydroxide produce potassium sulfate and water. Here we have a notable. We have to note, to remember this. We have another reaction called the combustion reaction. Combustion reaction is a reaction in which elements, to mean metal or non-metal, are burned or exploded to form oxides. To mean, if there is a reaction with a presence of air by burning, that reaction is called the combustion reaction. But also remember, this reaction is referred to addition reaction or combination reaction. Examples: sodium reacts with oxygen to produce sodium oxide. Carbon reacts with oxygen to produce carbon dioxide. These are different reactants but produce one product. That's why you can refer as a combination reaction. With the combustion reaction, we have to remember this. There are two types of combustion reaction, namely complete and incomplete combustion reaction. These reactions are identified by their products. They either produce carbon monoxide and water or carbon dioxide and water. Complete combustion reaction is a reaction in which substances, for example carbon, any fuel, any hydrocarbon, burn efficiently with oxygen to produce carbon dioxide or carbon dioxide and water. To mean, if oxygen is sufficient, is enough, our product is water and carbon dioxide. For example, methane gas, when burned with oxygen, produce water and carbon dioxide. When sodium reacts with oxygen, produce sodium oxide. Remember, this oxygen is sufficient. Incomplete combustion reaction This is a reaction in which substances do not burn efficiently and produce carbon monoxide and water. The oxygen in this type of incomplete is insufficient, is not enough. And then our product is water and carbon monoxide. For example, methane gas with oxygen which is insufficient produce water and carbon monoxide. Ethanol with oxygen produce water and carbon monoxide. As you remember, we categorize chemical reaction into 4: addition reaction, decomposition reaction, single displacement reaction, and double displacement reaction. And all those reactions can be classified into 2: what we call endothermic reaction and exothermic reaction. Remember, within a chemical reaction, there is a chemical change. If there is a chemical change, the energy can be absorbed or released out. This type of endothermic reactions, it is a reaction in which heat or energy is absorbed from the environment, from the surroundings. Here we have different examples of endothermic reaction. When barium hydroxide reacts with ammonium chloride, this reaction is endothermic. There is absorption of energy. When the crucible contains calcium carbonate, remember this calcium carbonate is limestone. If you keep on heating, or if you decompose by heat, really it produces calcium oxide and carbon dioxide. This reaction also is endothermic. We have other examples, reactions that take place during cooking. It is endothermic. During photosynthesis, remember photosynthesis, this is the process in which plants convert carbon dioxide and water to glucose. It depends on the energy from the sunlight. Exothermic reaction. This is a reaction in which heat or energy is given out to the surrounding. Let's look examples. The neutralization of acids by alkali. It is an exothermic reaction. The combustion of fuel, when you burn, really there is release of energy. Respiration in your body cells. It is also exothermic. Remember, during respiration, it provides the energy to your heart and the lungs working and for warmth and the movement. Thank you for your attention. Remember to subscribe, remember to give a comment, remember to give like and share to your friends. Thank you. We are together.